From the MSI labs, we review a new breed of monster that's for total domination, a total castration of your senses, a gaming exploration.
Introducing the MSI Gaming Notebook GE62 2QD Apache, which features Intel Sharpday Core i7-4720HQ CPU, which boosts up to 3.6 GHz. It also features a 15.6 inch display which runs at 1080p and features an anti-glare sophisticated design. There's 8GB of 1600 MHz DDR3 low profile memory, but this laptop also supports 16GB if you did want to upgrade. Graphics wise, we've got the NVIDIA GeForce 2GB GTX 960M, which is absolutely brand new, and it's designed for not budget users, but it's designed for an all-round gaming experience, especially coupled with a 1080p screen. It should do absolutely fantastic. The MSI encompasses the SteelSeries Engine 3 software for impeccable and ultimate customization of the keyboard keys and the backlighting LEDs featured on the GE62 2QD. Also featured inside the MSI Gaming Notebook is a HD at 720p at 30fps web camera. In terms of gaming performance, as you can see, BioShock maxed out averaged at 53.45 FPS, which is just shy of the 60 FPS buffer that I like to call the safety zone, but it's a very decent performance for a maxed out game. Formula 1 2001 had the same sort of result with 56 FPS, so it did manage to just stay under the 60 FPS buffer, but you know, none of the games that we tested at max and high settings managed to do that. Performance in the synthetic benchmarks such as 3D Mark 11 and 3D Mark 5 Strike yielded pretty decent scores, with 5,491 attained in 3D Mark 11 and 4,023 attained in 3D Mark 5 Strike. So, we've seen the laptop, we've seen what MSI are all about in the notebook range, all about gaming, all about design, all about performance, all about an overall together package. But just to recap some of the main things about the GE62 2QD Apache gaming notebook. It does have an i7, so it's going to be good for gaming. It's going to be a little portable rendering powerhouse. I mean, it's using the 4th generation 4720HQ, which is a pretty decent, you know, CPU from Intel. No AMD CPU seem to be in the higher end, and the new MSI Notebook gaming range all use Intel and maximum performance. We've got 8GB of RAM, but it is upgradable to 16GB. Obviously at your own risk. And it has speeds of 1600 MHz, which is pretty decent. You know, the system behind me, or should I say notebook, it's like a system. I've had it for that long. I just love it, really. It's been going for running 3D Mark 2013, and I'm really impressed with it. I mean, gaming performance on maximum settings on some games, it's still not hitting that niche 60 FPS, but it's still a fantastic development, design and product from MSI. Things that I love about it, let's go. SteelSeries engine software is so intuitive to use, it's so easy, so very user friendly. It allows you to customize the keyboard, so you've got an RGB backlit keyboard which you can change the zones and the colours of that to suit your personal preferences. We also have the screen. It is a 15.6-inch screen at full HD 1080p. It does have anti-glare, so as you can still see the footage quite clearly through the camera lens, but obviously in the studio lighting area it's handling it pretty well in my opinion. And obviously you've got the likes of the general feel of it. I mean, it's like it is like a plastic, but it feels like an aluminium. It's like got like a little like a metal plating over it. It feels really premium. Battery life is pretty damn decent, especially for a notebook as gaming. Obviously, if you are going to be gaming on the battery itself, you are going to run into a few problems, especially if you haven't got a plug socket handy, because unfortunately the technology hasn't evolved that far yet, where we can have full gaming laptops running without the need for power. Really, you know, laptops do eventually run out of power when they're on the battery. It's just battery technology. Will it improve in the future? Of course it will. Will things become more efficient? Of course it will. And that brings me to the next point. This is the first MSI Notebook to feature the NVIDIA Maxwell GTX 960 graphics card. Now this graphics card, I've actually reviewed the desktop version before, and it's a nice card. It does have 2 GB of VRAM, and obviously for a notebook it's a pretty ample card. Obviously the notebook version is slightly less powered than the desktop version, but that shouldn't put you off. And if the price of £1,100 for this beauty doesn't put you off, then, well, I don't want to really say, do I? I don't want to put my foot on it, but yeah, for the price, so yeah, I mean, what I like about this laptop is the MSI's integration of the SteelSeries engine software, SteelSeries engine 3 to be exact. I really love the way you can customize each key. And obviously you've got different sections that you can have different colours. So obviously here we've got red, orange, green, yellow, blue, and it really stands out. It's a really bling feature, but it's one I rate quite highly. It's not going to be to everybody's taste though, so bear that in mind. Other things, I like the hardware. The GTX 960M is a decent little graphics card. This is the first, as I mentioned, and this is the first laptop to feature it from MSI. It's pretty new. 1.1K though, I would probably expect a little higher spec, but given that, you know, you could probably go and get a cheaper laptop somewhere else with the same spec, what you don't get is the overall package of MSI. SteelSeries keyboard, you've got Audio speakers, which, I mean, they're not, it is laptop audio at the end of the day, you know. You can't really expect Bang & Olufsen quality from a laptop, but the laptop is a pretty good sounding bit of kit. The Audio does a really good job. Another thing I like is the feel and the premiumness that I like about it. I mean, you've got a full HD webcam, which is 720p at 30 FPS, which I should reiterate the full HD part. We obviously we've got it plugged in at the moment, because as I've said, I've been running 3D Mac for the entire duration of shooting this video, and it did sort of start to get low. When it's running Firestrike, Ice Storm, blah 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 blah, it's running all that. But yeah, things I dislike about it, well, the battery life, but that's not really a dislike. It's a good thing sometimes, that because I can't really think of dislikes, that this laptop, it shows the quality, the pedigree in this laptop. If I did have to dislike something, I would say the price. I reckon for a 960M, 128 gig SSD with 1 terabyte of mechanical storage, I would say the sweet spot for me for this particular laptop would be £1,000. So anything below £999, that would be an amazing price. Will it happen in the future? Perhaps, I can't really tell you. MSI Notebook are the guys who do this, you know, they build them, they create them, they make these come to life, and I would love to see. I mean, I've been toying with buying one myself, so that just shows you the pedigree. This is an easy gold award for me, simply because I've had so much fun with it. I've been playing ranked league matches on it, and it handles like games like CSGO, League of Legends, general MOBA, like Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm, even World of Warcraft, games like that all run perfectly fine on this laptop, regardless of settings. Games like Battlefield 4, you're looking at medium to ultra, not to ultra, sorry, to medium to high. Anything more than that, then it's the GPU that sort of struggles a little bit, and a 2 gig of VRAM as well. Remembering Battlefield 4 is a pretty VRAM intensive game, you don't want it to be draining too much from that, but it still plays well. If I was at a LAN, I'd take this little bad boy with me. But here's hoping, you know. So I've been Gavin, this has been the MSI GE62 2QD Gaming Notebook, and please check out our other reviews. If you like it, if you don't like it, don't like it. If you want to let us know in the comments below what you think of this review, what you think, is it something you would purchase? At £1,100, is it your next gaming netbook? Netbook? Ooh, I didn't say netbook, I said notebook. Yeah, edit this out, edit